Hawkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. And what I want to talk to you about today has to do with something that I think is worth a conversation in your families. We talk a lot about being on code. And, you know, there are a few areas where being on code is more important than when you talk about money and finance and things like that. And this was just on my spirit today. And I wanted to talk about loaning money to relatives. You know, loaning money to relatives is kind of an interesting thing. It's led to some good outcomes. It's led to some serious family, financial, emotional and financial tragedy. I've literally seen families where, where money was loaned to one relative, and literally, the people didn't pay it back, and they didn't talk for 40 or 50 years. And so, it's kind of a crazy thing. And I'm actually digging up something that I found online that I thought would be an excellent kind of discussion guide to help us kind of lean into this conversation a little bit better. And anyway, but as I get started, I want to say hello to everybody. Make sure you hit the like button, share button, and subscribe button. And if you are interested in financial topics, we have a whole channel dedicated to Black finance and Black wealth and Black money. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. Okay, so here's what I want to get into. Hey, Leslie, how are you? Loaning money to relatives is very dangerous, largely because what's going on is you're taking two valuable assets in your life, your money and your relationships, and you are connecting those assets to each other. And so what that does is that affects what is referred to as correlation among your assets. When they're positively correlated, meaning when one is affected by the other, you're in a riskier position than you are when they are separate, when they're independent from each other. And so ultimately, loaning money to relatives is something that many of us have dealt with. Let me know if you are a person who has been in weird dilemmas when it comes to loaning money to relatives and stuff like that. Let me know I'm not the only one. And loaning money to relatives is something that's dangerous, it's scary, it's uncomfortable. It makes you, it's very awkward, and again, it can just lead to so many problems. And so anyway, what I want to do is I'm going to go through this article. This article is on a site called moneycrashers.com, and I'm going to kind of elaborate on the points that are made, on this in terms of like reasons why you shouldn't loan money to relatives. Now, they're talking about why you shouldn't loan money to relatives. I'm not saying that you shouldn't ever loan money to relatives. What I'm saying is you have to be careful and you have to know where the warning spots are. So as your friendly neighborhood finance professor, I will go through this list and we'll kind of talk it through and share your comments, share your experiences, let people know what you figured out, what you've learned. The first reason that they mentioned that you shouldn't loan money to relatives, according to them, is that loans to family and friends tend to be open-ended. They said the parties don't reach an agreement for a timeline for repayments. They don't include interest on the loan. Lenders don't know when their money will be returned, and borrowers don't know when to repay the loans. So that leaves everything in limbo. There are no expectations. And when you don't have expectations, then people are typically going to come short on the expectations you have for them. A lot of times, it's almost like when you hear women that'll tell their husbands, like, you didn't do what I needed you to do. And he's like, well, what did you want me to do? And she goes, well, you should know what I want you to do. And I tell the young ladies, I say, no, don't do that. You tell him what you want so that he'll know what to do, what you're looking for. You can't expect people to be able to read your mind. Open-ended loans, that is a huge problem. I learned that when it came to not just lending money to relatives, but also hiring friends and relatives. I learned that if I don't set crystal clear expectations, you get into a back and forth and hemming and hawing of, oh, well, I thought that you meant this and I thought you were expecting that. Well, if I lay it out clearly and I make a contract and I put it on paper, then there's no ambiguity. I can say, well, actually right here, did we not both agree that it was going to go like this? But I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't like getting into loans and financial situations with friends or family anymore. I used to do that a little bit more, and it's just led to too many issues. I have people in my family that haven't spoken to me for years because they borrowed money from me, and instead of confronting it and saying, hey, I owe you this money, I'll pay you back, they just hide. They hide, you know, and I'm sitting there thinking, it really hurt me. It made me think, wow, why would you hide from your loved one like they're a bill collector? You know, I can understand if you do that to the white man, you know, you do that to the corporation, but why are you doing this to your family? You know, your family came through for you. They came through for you when you needed them, and now you act like you don't know who they are. Like that to me really made me reflect on what it means to have character, what it means to have integrity. A person with integrity may not always be rich. They may not always have the money that they need in order to repay you. But a person with integrity is going to own up to it. They're going to come back to you and say, you know, hey, I really wanted to pay you back by now, and I'm really sorry, but I can't. But I'm going to set this payment plan up, and I'm going to make every payment on time because I respect you and I know that you need your money. Those are the types of people that you can loan money to. So I'm not a person that says never loan money to anybody. I'm not saying that at all. Or, you know, I think when family needs help, I think it's okay to come through for them. I'm saying just know who you're dealing with. Know what kind of person, know the character of the people that you're dealing with financially, so you don't end up loaning money to a toad or somebody who doesn't respect the family. Hey, Dual Victory, thank you very much for coming in and help moderate. Everybody, please hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching on YouTube or anywhere else, please take a second, hit that thumbs up button so we can spread this conversation far and wide. We support intelligent black media. That's what we do. And, you know, and so in order for us to spread intelligent black media, we need your help to tell people that we exist. Okay. Number two, he said, the other reason that you don't want to loan money to relatives is because loans are not a priority. With an open-ended loan, the borrower may not realize that there is a sense of urgency to repay the loan. Without a deadline, repaying the loan becomes the borrower's last priority. Last priority. Now, think about that. That's so crazy, right? The person that you came through for to loan the money to has put you at the bottom of the priority list, below all the people out there that are making them repay. They put you below, you know, the corporation, below the bill collectors, below everybody else. And it's kind of a paradox, right? Like, why would you treat, you know, the people that came through for you the most, why would you treat them the worst? Why would you do that? That doesn't even make any sense. And so ultimately it comes down to incentives. It comes down to pressure. Remember this, okay? Does anybody know, tell me if anybody can identify with this. Does anybody know people that just stay broke? That just always got a financial problem? You know, I almost call them financial drama queens because you got, you know, a lot of the drama queens are male, right? Not just female. But financial drama queens, tell me if you know anybody like that who's always got a financial problem, always got an issue. And when you call them, they're depressed, they're sad, and you're like, what's going on? And you're scared to ask because you know it's going to come down to, hey, I need you to help me out, right? Well, you know, a lot of times there's a reason why people are always in that situation, that they're always struggling, they're always broke, they're always having a hard time, right? I didn't say most of them are male. I said many of them are male, Michael. So I didn't say most of them are male. Many of them are male. Although a black male who's not financially prepared for the future is going to become a financial drama queen. And he's going to be a financial drama queen. And I'm talking about emasculated because he's going to go through life not able to uphold his responsibility to his family, to himself, or to his community. That's why I think it's very, very important that you have all your children, especially your boys, but your girls too, learn how to start a business by the age of 12. By the age of 12, their rite of passage should be knowing how to invest in stocks, knowing how to buy a home, and knowing how to start a business. If you don't teach them and prepare them early, they're going to have problems for the rest of their lives. And not only are they going to have problems for the rest of their lives, they're going to dump their problems on other people for the rest of their lives. No woman wants to be married to a husband who can't solve his own problems, who's dumping his problems onto other people. Now, everybody who's watching on Instagram, IGTV, this is about to get shut down, but you can finish watching the rest at drboycetv.com. That's drboycetv.com. So I'm about to shut this